My name's Peter Melville. I'm a psychologist. I graduated from the University of Queensland in 1988 and I've practiced basically as a psychologist since then. It's always been my professional training as a psychologist that we work to encourage people not to commit suicide, to have a more positive view of life. But in my own professional career of some 31 years, I think 2 or 3 patients have said to me that had it not been for something I'd said, maybe a kind word or a bit of advice, they would have suicided. And that's kind of a high point, a pinnacle of one's career, where someone says if it wasn't for your own intervention, they would have ended their life, and they didn't directly because of your own intervention. So really, I guess psychology, medicine in general, I think any of the therapies and medical professions are for the helping of life, assisting of life, and not the ending of it. There's one patient or one case in particular, obviously I won't mention names, but an elderly person I see, she's struggling at the moment. I think there's dementia setting in, feels socially isolated. Thankfully she's got a wonderful son and daughter who are very supportive, but she often says, I'd rather not be here, or talks about it. And so the aim with that person obviously is to lift her self-esteem. Obviously if suicides were legalised, or euthanasia, whatever you want to call it, is legalised, then it creates an instability and imbalance. Do I stay alive? Don't I? The government says that I don't have to now. In fact, they may be encouraging me not to. And suddenly it just throws a whole cloud or a whole question mark over the whole idea of keeping people alive. And I guess the term assisted suicide is just completely incorrect. It's not assisting anything. It's patient doctor. It's doer and receiver. Laws can come into effect where medical or health professionals are indentured or forced to go along with something that's against their ethics, that's against their morals, that's against their practice principles. And this is where a real risk lies. The other thing too is we've got to look at, of course, people coming from refugee, migrant backgrounds where there are totalitarian regimes, where people are killed. How badly affected are they going to be? How badly is their psyche going to be affected if they get the vibe that the government here is actually saying, look, it's okay to die, we will encourage this. Yes, I lost my wife to cancer 8.5 years ago now. That's obviously had a severe and profound impact on myself and my 6 children.
When I was about 15 or 16 years old, my mother got diagnosed with renal cancer. Yeah, I'm one of 6 children, yeah. And yeah, the hardest thing about it was, the youngest wasn't even 2 years old, I don't think, when Mum passed away.
We went to Germany. My wife sourced other treatments, other options. Sadly, none of these were effective, but still they were sourced. We were basically given no chance here. We did try a medication here, trial medication, but it was really quite ineffective.
She didn't give in, and she certainly thought about all of us kids and the family more than herself, which is quite admirable. I used to think about that all the time, why do I have to go through this, and why does my family have to go through this? But I mean, there's certainly a lot of good memories as well. I think people tend to focus too much on the negative rather than all the positive, uplifting things. Okay, well, I have thought long and hard about it, and if there is one thing I'd say, it'd be this, no one should feel like they're a burden on society, and we need to respect life from every, from conception until natural death, and regardless of whether you're young or old, you're able-bodied or you're living with some sort of disability. All people need to have their dignity of their lives upheld.